Hi, my name is Megan Moss, and today the writing strategy I'll be discussing is predictable chart writing. The information that I found today was from literacyforalinstruction.com. So what is predictable chart writing? Predictable chart writing is a modeled style of writing that was developed by Patricia Cunningham, who is a professor at Wake University. So it's a fun way to introduce writing using shared group instruction. It provides structure for writing. It also provides a lot of structure for your classroom because through predictable chart writing, it provides a different activity that you can do during writing class each day with your class. And it's great for all learning styles. So predictable chart writing, or PCW, helps students understand how to translate their thoughts onto paper, work on their word identification skills, work on spelling and grammar, work on communication skills and writing skills, and it can help them develop a self-confidence in themselves as a writer. So now I'll go through each step of predictable chart writing. So step number one, or day one, is you would write the chart. So each week you'll have a different chart that you'll go through. I found just some images from the internet of different charts that teachers have used. So this one, the chart, says my favorite toy. So that's the topic of the sentence that you'll be writing about. First, the teacher will model writing the sentence. So this first sentence here, number one, is probably the teacher's. And the teacher said, I like the computer. So the sentence stem is I like blank. And the students are able to fill in the blank with whatever they like. So you'll notice that students said different things. I like the ball pot. I like the computer. I like the swing. I like the computer. I like the computer games, and so on. Step number two, or day two, you'll reread your chart. So we do this in the classroom that I currently work in, and what we do is we'll have the teacher read all the way through the chart. She'll read her sentence along with everybody else's sentence. After that, she'll say, okay, class, let's read together, and everybody will read the sentence chart together. After that, we use our inner voices to read the sentence chart all the way through. But you can read this sentence chart however best fits your class's needs. So whether that's printing out the sentence chart and giving it to each student, having them read it individually, whatever works for your students at the time. Step number three, or day three, is creating sentence strips and cutting them up. So each student has their sentence stem that they worked on. So in this first picture here, we see this class, they each have their sentence stem. So it looks like they talked about their favorite colors. So we notice that we'll do this bottom one here, or this one here, that says Cassidy likes the color green. So this must be Cassidy's sentence. So this is her sentence strip. So she cut up the sentence strip and then put it back together almost like a puzzle. So this step is really great. It can teach a lot of different skills. So number one is you can either have the students write out their sentence onto their strip themselves. So this would teach writing skills. If your students aren't able to or don't have the skills quite yet to write an entire sentence, you can just have them write in what they filled in the sentence with. So for Cassidy's sentence down here, she would just write in the color green for this example. So not only are they working on writing skills, but they're also working on identifying or word identification skills. So that includes word spacing. So that's what we do with the cutting up of the sentences, is when we have the students cut in between the spaces of each word, they're identifying where that space is, where one word ends and another word begins. And then by putting the sentence back together like a puzzle after they've cut it up, that's having them develop a sense of sentence structure, of knowing which words go first and which words go last in the sentence. So you could hold up two pictures or two words for Cassidy's sentence, and we'll say, Cassidy, our sentence says, Cassidy likes the color green. Which word comes first, Cassidy or color? And then Cassidy would put the sentence in order. Step number 4, or day 4, is called Being the Sentence. So this is kind of a fun game almost. So what you would do is you would take each student's sentences, or just a few sentences, and you would kind of turn this into a game. So you would write each word of the sentence on a piece of paper, and then you would collect that many students to come up to the front of the classroom, as many students as there are words in the sentences. And each student would get a piece of paper, and you could put them all out of order, and you would say, okay, students, today the sentence that we're working on, just like in this picture, says, I just want a car. So then you would have the students get into order in order to make the sentence make sense. So they're literally being the sentence. And step 5, or day 5, is making the book. So you would take each student's sentence stem from the week, and you would make a book out of it. So each student would be able to make their own page and include a picture. So in this top one here, it looks like they literally made a book with construction paper and their sentence stems and real pictures, which can be great. So it looks like their sentence stem was, my friends are. So they included their sentence stem and then a picture of their friends. In this bottom example here, which is what my class does, we use a program called Tar Heel Reader to create our books. And it's a great tool for creating books online. So what the students will do is they'll type in their sentence. So the sentence was, I see blue eggs. And then they would be able to look up pictures using Tar Heel Reader to put in their book. And it's very similar to like a Google image search of they would be able to type in something like blue eggs, and various pictures of blue eggs would come up. And they would be able to choose which picture they wanted to include in the picture. So this helps develop typing skills, as well as just kind of a finishing touch of using the sentence stem to create something. And then if you do use Tar Heel Reader, you can print out the books and print enough for each student to take home, and they can read it. Maybe print one to keep in the classroom, in your classroom library. Students do really like this, and they take a lot of pride in being able to flip through the book and see their sentences as well as their friends' sentences. So that is predictable chart writing. I hope you enjoyed learning about it. and I hope can be a useful tool for your classroom.